time to dive into a game that hits a little closer to home as we learn all about the big bosses, bigger biomes, and brand new big buggies coming to a park near you.
Love it.
In Grounded 2. We've got Chris Parker and Justin Vasquez
What's
here
up, guys?
from Obsidian and Eidos to break it down into very small, teeny, tiny parts.
We just did
I mean, they say good things
a few.
come in
We did
small
about 10 hours, I
packages,
think,
so
of
thank
Grounded
you
2
so much
early
for
access so
helping me
far. We'll be
unwrap
doing
these
some more,
presents
so
today,
stay tuned
guys.
for that.
How are you today?
We're
Make sure to
well.
check out the
Thank you for
playlist if
having
you
us
haven't
here.
already
We're
caught
very
the Grounded
excited
2
to be here to
coverage.
talk about the game.
Yeah, doing great. Super excited to be here.
I'm honestly so excited to gush all about the fun I've been having in Grounded 2 since it launched now a month ago into early access. So I've been having a blast, but how's the experience been for you two?
It's been an incredible experience. We're so blessed to have such an amazing community around Grounded 2. Everyone just reacted so well to the announcement and the fact that the game was coming to them so quickly. And seeing the game in players' hands now, everything that they're doing with it, all the fun they're having with buggies, all the fun they're having in the park, all the different builds that they're making and breaking, and all the great feedback we're getting, it's just getting us super excited.
I mean, the whole early access process for
really
Grounded
focus on
1
how
is
we
what
can
made
make
it
the
such
best
an amazing
Grounded 2
experience.
possible
So-
with our community.
I love that. Chris, have you been having a good time with it as well?
Yeah, I'm just so excited about how well it's been received, because you know, when you're making a game, you have this passion, you have this joy, you really want it to be something that the community is going to love, and they already love Grounded 1, right? So much passion there. And so until you get that into the players' hands and the community's hands, you just don't know exactly. You know, you can hope, but until they've actually sort of tasted that meal, you don't know how it's going to go. And so it went out there, people are super excited about it. They have tons of stuff to say and tons of great ideas, and we love that. And it's just been really exciting.
Amazing. Well, I've tasted it and I've really enjoyed it as well. We've been digging in a lot. It's been so much fun. And obviously you mentioned buggies, one of the big new additions in Grounded 2. And how has community feedback helped improve and expand that kind of area of the game for you guys?
That's a really good question. For us, the buggies were such an important feature to bring to life because it was the #1 requested feature from Grounded 1.
Yeah.
And so it was a big reason why we wanted to do a sequel in the first place, because we knew to do the buggies properly, we'd have to build the whole world from the ground up to support them and to really make them shine.
Wow, okay.
And so for us, it was a question of the balance of how much of this feature do we want to develop and solidify to make it a full experience and to really show the potential of the feature, but not go so far that we don't get the community's feedback. And so we feel like we found that balance with our Red Soldier and our Orb Weaver buggies, and now seeing how players are playing with them, what they're doing with it, and what they're asking for.
The
not
buggies
just
are
for
pretty
those buggies,
cool.
but for future buggies, is really giving us a lot of clarity on where we want to bring the feature, how we want to fulfill its potential, and of course, what exciting new buggies we're going to be introducing in the future.
Yeah, there's so many aspects to buggies. Like Justin said, we kind of went for the minimum approach and said, let's see what the community has to say about these. We have all of our own ideas that we're like, these are great ideas, but let's see what the community says first, and then we can kind of hone in on that stuff and help that really guide the future of buggies, whether that be
Oh, those turrets? I haven't gotten to that. Like, I haven't. I stopped myself from playing anymore because I was like, I don't want to spoil too much the early access. I want to wait for the full 1.0.
A lot
So
of
he's
it
building
is very
turrets
much
on
in
top
line
of the
with where we
branches to
wanted
defend
go.
his house.
Yeah.
Almost all of it's been
That was
stuff
cool.
that we've talked about.
Yeah.
Like, and it's great to see that, and especially, you know, we look at what the community feedback says, and our community guys like put it all together, and we count like what's been upvoted and what people are reacting to the most. And the
Yeah, that's
things
the
that
fun
they're
part,
reacting
Deeks,
to
is
the
like
most
thinking
are
back
things
to
that
like,
we're like,
I remember
yes,
being
Yes,
amazed
that's what we
in
wanted
the
to do.
80s and then being amazed in the 90s.
So not only does it confirm our belief
Like, going
that
back and
this
looking at
feature
games that I
has
was
so much
amazed by
potential,
back then,
it's really nice to see
if the
how aligned
me
we are
of
with our
then
community.
could see what
And
today,
it really feels like we're
I
all
don't know
one
that
big
I would
team trying to
believe
make
it.
the best Grounded 2 together.
One big colony. That's so cute. I'll think
That's-
that.
Like,
I totally
King's
missed
Quest,
that.
Quest for
Don't
Glory
worry, I got
1,
you, I got you.
when they came out with the
My
VGA
buggy is
point-and-click
called
version,
Anne
was
McPartlin.
mind-blowing
It's a Red
to me.
Soldier, and I haven't got to Orb Weaver just yet. We're taking our time, which is a very
But it looks like
UK
shit in
insular
2025.
Joke, but that is fine for you. But have you guys got any?
But in like
buggy names that
1992,
you're
it was like, this is
particularly proud of?
amazing.
Any
These are
good
the best
puns that you've
graphics
heard?
ever.
I've
Or
got one
from
on
the
my
team?
sleeve. You, Chris?
Or the dig when
the favorite one that we
Lucasfilms or
always
LucasArts
fight
did the
around
dig.
around the studio right now is Stinky. I don't know why. But yeah, when we start up a co-op game for the first time, yeah, everybody goes and like makes their buggy real quick together, and then whoever names their buggy Stinky first is the one that wins, basically.
I always call my aunt Antonio Banteras because you get the double ant pun there.
Double ant pun.
And also
crazy.
just because I like to think of my red ant as this like charming, roguish ally that I'm like going on an adventure with. So
Love
Antonio
that.
Banteras.
That's beautiful. He's your own very real sidekick. That's beautiful. We have another first in Grounded 2 with our classes. So, I mean, we were chatting a little bit behind the scenes about, I've been loving the mage class personally, but what has been the most exciting developments from either seeing a lot of players get to grips with these classes or from the team themselves?
I mean, when we set out developing archetypes, they were really about just helping players understand, how do I best equip my character for whatever it is I'm trying to do today, right? You're not locked into being a mage for the whole game. You could be a mage one night and then switch over to a ranger or a rogue or whatever. You want to be a sword and board fighter, do that. But let's have the interface help you out and help you sort of like min-max easily into that play style. And to be perfectly honest, I thought this was just like a kind of a nice little quality of life add to the game. And the players love it. Like they think it's fantastic, and they want to know, hey, what are the next ones going to be? What's equipment that's going to be added so that we can, further develop this particular archetype?
Yeah, that's going to give them a
really
lot more
surprising, but also super encouraging and exciting for me. Just to see that, you know what, people love this. Something that I thought was pretty small, something that actually IDOS actually championed in the first place. And like, everybody loves it. It's great. It's been really positive reception.
From our point of view, it felt like a natural extension of what Grounded was already doing and what made Grounded special.
I would assume
they're
was automatic
really
turrets.
rich RPG fighting system. And to speak to what Chris is saying, that's also the shared DNA between Obsidian and Eidos Montreal, is that love for both RPG mechanics and progression and player choice. And so this felt like a natural extension of us working together, of us collaborating. And to see it in players' hands, not only them finding really cool ways to break the builds and push them to really cool limits, like the dual wielding rogue that can, one-shot, even our biggest, toughest foes. Yeah. But on top of that, seeing them use the builds in really creative, unique ways that, like you said, speak to their play style. And you're not locked into anything. If you want to be a mage that whips out a sword and a board, you can do that. If you want to be a ranged who is still packing a mallet, you could do that as well. And so we really want the players to express themselves however they want, and we want to get their feedback so that we can find new ways to help them express themselves over.
And it's very early in the early access process.
Love that. I mean, with new classes, we've also got some new bugs as well in Grounded 2. How has that been for putting those into the game, implementing them, and how have the community received some of the new ones, like our new scorpions, our caterpillars, etc.? Are there any fan favorites that you've seen emerge?
I don't know about favorites, but I mean, I think all of them have been really well received, but like for different reasons, of course. So like, we've got a ton of feedback from folks who are like, man, the caterpillars are so sweet and they're beautiful, and I have to kill them. Why have you done that? Why have you ruined my life and blackened my soul with this? And then, another example is this cockroaches, where they're like, I can't deal with cockroaches. Why have you put this in the game? And we're like, oh, well, we put it in there to be gross. That's why it's there.
Yeah, that's the point
of it. It's serving its purpose. Exactly. But the reception of those has been really fun, very exciting.
And on the other side, what was nice for us is when we first started talking about, what creatures we wanted to bring to Grounded 2. I think it was universal.
Also, I approve of the first-person
POV.
Because I know you can play third-person.
That is on the same level of terrifying as the wolf spider from Grounded 1. and the #1 contender was the Scorpion. And it was a huge request from the community for a long time.
Oh shit, it comes
and being able to bring
I
that
haven't
to life,
fought one before, that was dope.
but in a way that like does justice to it being this terrifying predator coming after you, and seeing all these reaction videos online of people in their camps being, you know, hunted by the Scorpion and popping out and then freaking out trying to hide. Like, this thing is coming after me. What do I do? It's so rewarding.
Considering the first one is out on the PS5, I would expect that long term you can expect to see Grounded 2 coming to PS5 as well.
You guys have a lot
but
to
right now it's
answer
in
for
game
making
preview.
Kill the sweet caterpillars
So
and the
Xbox,
butterflies, and then also
PC.
the horrendous night terrors I've had for the Scorpion.
But Grounded
we'll talk
itself
afterwards,
came to PS5 long term, so.
Speaking of foes and new enemies, I hear we have a new boss to look forward to as well.
We're nowhere
so
near
can you tell me
1.0
what
release,
this
so
new
I would
boss
say you
is
need to
and
wait
why
for
you guys are
1.0
excited
release
for
before you
players to
worry
take
about
it
it
on.
coming to PS5.
Happy to. So our new boss is a giant tarantula.
Oh, my
It's
God.
kind of like a lot of the
Axel,
early access
who
games I
has
play are
gotten loose in
only
the
on
park,
PC, because they're only on
and
Steam,
this
and then
is
they
our- what
eventually,
we're
when they go
calling our first
1.0, they
park
come
boss.
to Xbox,
And,
PlayStation,
you know, in Grounded 1, there was
Switch.
these really cool backyard
But early
bosses,
access is almost always only
the
ever one
brood
platform.
mother, the mantis, and these were all, you know, really giant, terrifying foes. And so we knew we wanted to keep up that tradition. Yeah, look at this thing; it's terrifying. We wanted to keep up that tradition, but because now you're riding buggies, what's giant and terrifying and monstrous has to scale in proportion to that. And so we really wanted to nail that like primal feature creature terrifying experience for players. And again, it was just the clear first choice for us was we have to bring that fantasy of the tarantula to life. And that's where Axel was born.
And then we had to look at scale. I mean, like, it is, I don't even know if you can tell from the footage we just showed
It looks
how
huge.
immensely huge this is. So the character in that footage is riding around on its own orb weaver spider, and the orb weaver looks teeny tiny compared to the tarantula, because it's about like 3 times bigger than a wolf spider, which is one of the largest creatures in Grounded 1.
And I think it's about 16 times bigger than the player, so it's pretty massive.
It's massive. It's
Yeah.
absolutely huge, and we think players will have a lot of fun
Buster
with it.
caps.
It's got its own
Good old
arena. It's
bottle
got its
caps.
own like sort of like recipe and things that you've got to do in order to summon it and bring it in. But we think it's a pretty exciting boss.
Yeah, it looks huge and terrifying for sure. How did you guys land on the name Axel? That's so cute, for one. I'm guessing it's a pet tarantula as well that someone just found. Oh no.
So one of the best things about our franchise is it's set in the 90s. This one's set in 1992, and so there's all this nostalgia around that era that means a lot to all of us. And Axel is actually a reference to Home Alone. In Home Alone, the older brother has a pet tarantula called Axel that gets loose.
Oh,
And
nice.
So that's our little
Easter
egg.
egg.
I love that. I love that it makes sense in the world of Grounded 2, but also it's just a sick callback to
Rainbow
real world
sheep.
movies and stuff.
There's
Love
a couple of more Home Alone references in the game, so around Axel, so I can't wait to see if the community catches them all.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back to this big boss Axel, because I would love to hear some tips from you guys about taking him on. I'm terrified already, and I'm hoping I don't have to do it alone. But yeah, do you have any tips for players on taking them down?
Well, I mean, with basically any adventure in Grounded, you got to load up before, you got to prepare for whatever your adventure is going to be. You need to make sure you've got enough food and water and healing supplies, and then you're just going to have to go in and die a couple of times. Like, that's basically what's going to have to happen. He's got a lot of special attacks that are really cool, and you're just going to have to kind of learn that sequence, because there's also some stages to that boss fight as well. So once you've figured out the first one, you're going to have a couple of surprises for you. Figure out the second one, a couple of surprises for you. Hopefully it'll keep players entertained for a while. And when they finally beat it, there's a lot of goods on the horizon there. You know, you can, like with everything in Grounded, you ultimately murder it and then turn it into fashionable attire. And that's exactly what
you wear your
do.
trophies on your body.
Cosmetic
Absolutely.
spam.
Make weapons and armor.
The true
with that,
end
maybe
game.
some furniture, right?
Yeah,
You want-
absolutely.
You want to upholster something with that, and that's exactly what you can do here.
I love the
My
fact that they're
advice
referring
would
to this
be,
as being like the true
Whether you're playing single player or with your friends, to
cosmetics
bring
of
a
the true
friend.
end game.
Go with your orb weaver buggy.
Okay.
You know, hey, if you want to take it on alone, go for it. Become the stuff of YouTube and Twitch legend. But if you want to, try to survive, bring your Orb Weaver buggy. It will come in handy immensely. The fight was designed with that in mind, and we had a lot of fun figuring out, okay, what makes fighting a giant creature on another giant creature a fun and unique experience. So we really hope that the players will get
incredibly
a kick
well
out
done
of
in terms of the design of this
the rounded style massive boss fight, but now on their own impressive buggy mount.
Nice. I can't wait to try it myself and die multiple times, no doubt. Very good.
I'll
Parker,
definitely die multiple times.
You mentioned that there's some, obviously our favorite thing about Grounded is getting the loot. My favorite thing is going and analyzing everything, breaking it down. Can you tell us a little bit about the spoils that we can expect from the tarantula? Is there going to be some pieces in particular?
Absolutely. So a couple that spring to mind is there is an absolutely, as you would expect, massive bow that you can craft. It's sort of ridiculously large, but that's what makes it sort of charming, is that like you made it out of the biggest creature that's been in the yard so far, so it is ridiculously large. You can make yourself a new fancy chest to adorn your base that holds a little bit more stuff, as I recall correctly.
Correct.
And is of course again fashioned out of axle pieces. You can even make yourself a cool little throne. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. So
that's the one that I'm most in love with, and I can't wait to see how the community reacts to that, because it is a
run away
significantly impressive throne for a significantly impressive boss.
Yeah, big Spider King throne. That sounds great. I can't wait to see it. I hope it's fuzzy as well. The colors on it look so sick. I mean, I'm imagining your guys' offices are kind of just, do you just have tarantulas kind of like lying around, or any bugs and stuff? Like, that would be terrifying.
Our art director makes these massive, mood boards whenever we have a new insect. It's just like a wall of terrors. And we're like, okay, which of these is the most interesting terror to bring to life? And so when we were working on Axel, it was just all of these different tarantulas, and we're looking at them going, I didn't even know tarantulas came in those colors.
Yeah. Your dreams must be haunted, but no. Also, on top of the new boss and the new tarantula, I hear we've got a new biome on the horizon as well for winter. Could you tell me a little bit about what we can expect to explore there?
Absolutely. For our winter update, we're going to be introducing our first new biome in the park. It's our garden biome. And what's really exciting about it is that the park allows us to explore areas that are really a good mix of human crafted, handcrafted areas, as well as the more natural, organic areas. And so the idea of a community garden was very appealing for exactly that reason. And so we get to see, our pumpkin patch, or a vegetable garden, or a greenhouse. These all feel very organic and very wild and very grounded, but have this new layer to it of, no, this was carefully cultivated by humans to be laid out in a specific way. And so that gives us the opportunity to do things from a level design and experience design wise that couldn't be done in Grounded 1, can only be done because of the park. Chris, did you want to?
Yeah, no, 100%. You pretty much nailed everything there. I'm just super excited about running around amongst giant pumpkins. The greenhouse gives us the opportunity to make a very humid environment, which is something that we have not had before. I think we have with the vegetable garden, we're doing some interesting things there that almost turn it into sort of like a hedge maze experience. Like, there's a lot of things that we're doing that I think are really fun, and and this was all sort of planned in our heads, at least loosely, from the beginning, where let's nail all the foundational stuff with our first early access release and make sure that all of those pieces are there, and then we can do some more experimental stuff. And so when we get to, after we have the tarantula update in the fall, our winter update is going to be this first big one where we've got some new biomes and a lot of new stuff, new insects, of course, more equipment, all kinds of
There's
things.
There's already a boatload of content really in the early access. I've barely scratched the surface because I don't want to spoil myself too much for the 1.0 because it's kind of like when we did Enshrouded a couple of years ago. It was really good and had a lot of fun. I put about 40 hours into Enshrouded, and I was like, I'm going to step away and look at a 1.0, which is scheduled for the spring. But I know we got some friends, Babylonia and friends, are starting to play some Enshrouded again. And I'm really tempted to jump back in because there's been a couple of years of progress. So much new stuff.
She's going to bring something unique and fun to the players.
But ultimately, I'm also kind of like, should I wait for the 1.0?
If the community wants to get excited about what it is that we're doing, the roadmap is a good place to go check out everything we have in mind. And
but I would say Grounded 2, even right now, is I would say it's a pretty amazing experience for an early access.
Help mold what it is that we're planning to do right now. Like right now, we have a very loose idea of all the things that we think would be super exciting, that would be great to add into the game. But you know what?
Like I said, for me, it's a no-brainer because I have my Game Pass Ultimate subscription, so it's just part of what I have access to.
This is what we think right now.
And I've still got it installed in the Xbox, so I can jump in and dive in wherever I want.
Grounded 2.
I love that. I mean, I'm really excited to
I might have
think
to put some more time
new names, I guess, for this Lady
Yep,
Bird.
Enshrouded's coming to all platforms when it does its 1.0 release.
If you guys had to have one in real life, what do you think you would have for a real life buggy? A Red Soldier and
They've talked
the
about that
Orb
before.
Weaver or the new Lady Bird?
I would definitely take the Red Ant Soldier. The reason why is at least right now, it can kind of do everything, which is fantastic. It can harvest, it can build, it can fight, it goes really fast. It seems really cute when I pet it, even though it's terrifying.
So
like everything about it is like really great. Like Orb Weaver's cool too, but it's still maybe a little too terrifying for me.
You don't see that parking that in your driveway.
Yeah, I'm still not down with that.
I'm not either. I'm not a spider
We'll
guy.
see. We'll see as other ones come online. Maybe I'll change my mind.
Yeah, I totally get the appeal of the Red Soldier, and it's got that like
awesome.
off-road ATV feel to it. That dirt bike that you can kind of take out anywhere.
Yeah.
But if I'm honest, right now I'm leaning towards the Ladybug. Maybe it's because it's new and exciting, but honestly, because as a player of Grounded 1, that was the one that I wanted to ride the most, and often would just by jumping on it and letting me carry around. I fantasize about riding this wild creature around the backyard. And so being able to bring that to life in the park, it not gonna lie, it's super satisfying.
And so nice.
Can't wait for the community to get that dream come true.
I bet. Oh, well, I mean, we've spoken a lot about community, and it just feels like so clear you guys are so synced up with them. You're listening to the players all the time, but
that's the point of good early access.
Both of your teams kind of created tools for players of Grounded 2 to be part of this collaboration, or how can people watching at home kind of get involved with that, the feedback process too?
Yeah, I mean, we're up on pretty much every social media platform out there. The primary one is Discord. The Grounded game is up on Discord, and we have a
Obsidian
great community
has their
up there.
Discord broken into categories.
That's also one of the places where it's easiest for people to go look at what does everybody else in the community say, and go ahead and upvote ideas and discuss those ideas in great detail. And then we have a great community group of folks at Obsidian that go through everything. They respond to every single customer comment and note and whatever. We try and make sure that people know that we are actually listening to them. We are already weekly getting together amongst our teams and going through all of this feedback and sorting it out and figuring out, hey, what is it that we want to do in the next week? What do we want to do in the next month? What is something that we want to try and do in 4 months? If we don't want to do it, let's talk to the community and see if there's something that's close to that sort of makes sense or we can make work. So it's just a whole lot of things, and you know what? Props to the Grounded 1 team who built this community and allowed us to actually follow in their footsteps on this, because the community is on Grounded and Grounded 2 is just so supportive and so great. And it's because I think we try to interact with them constantly. We try to listen to them. We try and make changes that they want, and I think they appreciate that and are loved. And it's really something special. It's pretty cool.
Absolutely, that was something everyone at the team at Eidos Montreal saw right away, that the story of the success of Grounded was that this community wasn't just rooting for the game, they were rooting for the team as well, and the team wasn't just trying to make this game in a bubble, they really wanted to collaborate with this community, and it's that healthy bond between them, that interdependence between them, that resulted in an amazing game. And so of course we want to replicate that success. Of course we want to replicate that feeling for the community, and of course we want to allow that to put us in a position to create the best version of Grounded 2 possible.
That's beautiful. That's so fun. Well, I have some ideas that I'll have to tell you afterwards off stage, but
can't wait
I'm
to hear.
Write them down yet, and be sure to join that Discord as well to chat more Grounded. But honestly, Parker, Justin, thank you so much. I've had just a blast talking about Grounded 2, and I can't wait for all the new updates that we've got as well.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you. Like,
I got you, Gray.
You know,
I understood what you were saying, even if your voice to text was
situation like
not.
this is awesome.
Heck yeah.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. I mean, there's so much more to look forward to as Grounded 2 continues to grow. But for now, we go from the ground to the air.